Okay, let's talk. So Jack Smith's reports are done. He's notified Merrick Garland that they're done. They're ready to go. Donald Trump's attorneys, Todd Blanche and Emile Bove, who are about to occupy the number 2 and number 3 positions in the Justice Department in a couple weeks, signed a letter to Merrick Garland saying, don't release this report, but don't release either of these reports. And if you do, don't release them in unredacted fashion. What's the basis for them making this request? So remember how his attorneys got the Mar-a-Lago documents case dismissed in front of Judge Aileen Cannon, potentially the worst federal judge to ever occupy the bench, in an egregiously bullshit, misdirected ruling that contradicts and ignores roughly 50 years worth of precedent and controlling case law. She threw out that case against Donald Trump, not against his 2 co-conspirators. She threw that case out against Donald Trump by saying that Jack Smith he lacked authority under the Constitution and was improperly appointed to be special counsel by Merrick Garland, in part because he wasn't Senate confirmed, and it was like appropriations and funding issues of governmental money within the DOJ. So they make that argument in this case, which, as an aside, was part of a concurrence by Clarence Thomas in, I believe it was the Supreme Court immunity case. Clarence Thomas laid this argument out. Aileen Cannon took the hint. She received the telegraph and picked up that ball and ran with it and dismissed the Mar-a-Lago documents case. It's not a valid use of taxpayer money. Arguably, because that case has been dismissed, they also filed a motion in front of Judge Cannon, which is curious to me, because Judge Cannon no longer has any jurisdiction over Donald Trump because she dismissed that case against Donald Trump. He's no longer a defendant in her court or in any case before her. But apparently his 2 co-conspirators, Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, are still active defendants in that case. I don't know why it's improper for Jack Smith to be appointed to prosecute Donald Trump, but not improper for Jack Smith to be appointed and prosecute them. I would probably have to go back and read that decision. But he's essentially arguing these guys are innocent until proven guilty. If the report that relates to the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case, it will be prejudicial to them moving forward with their own defenses in that case. They're making the argument that the release of these reports would be unlawful and in bad faith, and essentially there's no point because inauguration is just a couple of weeks away. But now there's this motion pending in front of Judge Aileen Cannon as it relates to one of the 2 Jack Smith reports, the report that relates to the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. Judge Aileen Cannon, obviously from her track record, is a bit of a, no pun intended, a loose cannon, which is a polite way of saying she's an incompetent boob and doesn't understand the law and doesn't seem to care to understand the law. But she could issue an order ordering the Justice Department not to release the Mar-a-Lago classified documents report at all. And she could wait to do that until January 19th, when Merrick Garland would have no time to appeal that order because Donald Trump is inaugurated the following day. So we'll see what happens. I'm confident that at a minimum, we will see the January 6th report because Donald Trump was the only defendant in that case. That case has been dismissed. Judge Tanya Chutkan does not have any jurisdiction over that anymore. That will be exclusively up to Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland, who I would imagine is probably feeling some sense of experiencing a desperate attempt to salvage what's left of his reputation after the last 4 years. So we'll see what happens.